Yep.
Boom. All right. So a few updates for everyone. One, I have to say we are super excited. I know we say this like every single week, but every week gets better and better. This week was a great week. We had, I believe it was five new producers that sold for their first time. So I love seeing that, people figuring this thing out. Alaska, we have to give that update. 8 weeks remain to get there. We thought we would have our first qualifier this week. There's still one off. So, well, I guess it could have happened. We just don't know yet because our reports are usually about 24, 48 hours off. But make sure you still have plenty of time to punch your ticket, Cody, as well. Get on another cruise ship here. But everyone, you have 8 weeks to get there. Bo, I know you've been working very hard at our leads and improving that process, making it easier for everyone. Give us the update, Boham. What's happening there?
Yep, we got a big one. So our backend systems are now able to finally communicate. So when you order leads, all that lead data is going to go through automatically. And you might go, well, hasn't it already been doing that? No, it's been me in the background manually uploading all that information. But now that it's set that way for automatic transfers, what we can do is you guys have the opportunity now to opt in and choose a demographic area. So you can choose it by county, zip code, state, maybe if you're the only one there, I guess, and then set a dollar amount. And then what it will do is the second a lead hits enter, it goes into your WooSender and you are notified, so you can call them, text them, whatever, and immediately respond to their request. This should drastically increase the amount of people that are interested in getting life insurance with us and improve your guys' odds. So if you guys want to sign up to have those leads immediately go to you, or if you have questions, reach out to me and I'll put my email in the chat. I can help you guys get that started, and we can go from there.
Well, and guys, I want to reiterate the power of that. We were talking with one of our partners, and we were talking. He was referencing, and I've told you guys this before, about an Escalade. If I'm online shopping for a brand new Escalade, I'm not, by the way, but if I was, and I hit, send me more information, and I don't hear from somebody for 3 weeks, my excitement about an Escalade is going to decline over time. It doesn't mean that I will still won't want to go pick it up or don't want one. It just means that excitement moment is passing over time. So same thing with these leads. When you get real-time leads, guys, you literally had somebody who just finished the forms. They've just gone through the website. They're looking for information. Remember, they've already had a trigger event. They've had somebody or somebody pass close to them, or seen somebody that when they're like, dang, I need life insurance. And they just filled it out. So when they hit send, if their phone rings a few minutes later and you're like, hey, I just saw you were requesting information on life insurance. I've been assigned to assist you with that. Hey, let's confirm some information. Let's get you a quote. Your close ratio goes through the roof. So anyway, I know I just wanted to reiterate again how powerful the real-time leads are, that literally somebody clicks send. And if you have and you guys please know that you don't have to have a crazy budget assigned to this. And we're right now for the next, I don't know how many leads we have left in that 1,000-person pool, where we're subsidizing that down. We're cutting the cost of that from $16 to $8.
Hello.
So
hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So anyway,
hey,
guys,
Dave, will you speak to those leads? Which ones are we subsidizing down to $8?
The Effie Bennies. The Effie Bennies are going from 16 to 8. You guys, just so you know, you don't have to go, oh, I'm going to dedicate, I'm buying a whole area, and every lead, I guarantee I'm going to buy it, because what if 50,000 leads pop in? I mean, they're not going to, but if they did, I'm stuck on the hook for this crazy number. No, you guys can set a budget if it's $50 or $100 or whatever that number that you're comfortable with, and say, hey, when these ones come in, I want kind of first right on those. So anyway, talk to Bo. Super excited about that they're live. First contact on those guys should be your phone, though. It definitely should be your phone. It's going to go to WooSender, and we want the campaign to run. But again, it's going to always be looking a day out at least to schedule an appointment. If you get a live lead that comes in right now, pick up the phone, call 'em. So anyway, exciting news, Bo. Thank you.
Can I ask a question real quick on leads?
No,
Yeah.
nope, you may not.
All right, move on.
Of course you can. Of course
No,
you can.
Paul and I said you can. We outvote Dave.
Well, Jesse just texted me and said that he started one solution, so he's on my side. We're good.
Yeah. You can buy
Facts,
buy
facts.
as many leads as you want.
No, just quick question. I want to clarify. So if we have some groups that are doing, because you're saying everything's getting divvied behind the scenes now automatically. What if it's like an LOA situation and someone's buying leads for a group of people? Like, how does that process work? How does those get divvied up?
Whoever's buying those leads will dictate it, so we can round robin them. So we can have them go as a round robin, Cody.
Okay.
Or that person, whoever's making that buy, when they're making that buy, we would dictate what that round robin looks like or who they're going
Okay.
to.
Okay.
Yeah. So the way it is right now, the system would go to the person buying the leads, and then you would round robin them yourself. Is how
Okay.
it's set up. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because I have a couple groups that I work with that do LOAs for their teams. And
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that how that process is going to go. But so appreciate
Yeah,
it. Thank you.
Yeah, and if they're
For
gonna
those of
bonus
you on the
someone-
call, go. Sorry,
ahead,
Jess. I was just gonna say, for those of you guys who don't know, LOA is a license only agent. That's where the agency is taking all the commission and distributing commissions down to their agents. Below that, that's one of those terms that's in this world that's not necessarily in the Aflac worksite world. So LOA, license only agent.
Thank
So
you,
no,
Paul.
all good.
I mean, David,
Hey, look,
excuse-
we're adding to the acronym list for everybody. I love it.
Took me,
Okay, I'll be
took me
quiet now.
years. I'm still saying, what does that mean, Dave? I'm not an insurance guy, but I'm learning it. But $10 says Dave's gonna get a bunch of texts today and ads for him to buy a Cadillac. So
Yeah, probably.
the Big Brother's always listening.
That's
Yeah,
right.
my Instagram's now full of Cadillac ads. It's weird.
Yes. Well, hey, let me talk real quick on the next one to contracting. Again, I'm always available to help with contracting, but it does not look like Great Western is going to open up any more contracting. Still doing great. They're just not adding new producers. So we have already, put the wheels in motion to pivot over for GI product over to AIG Corebridge. Great commission still there. Really good company, large company, very reputable. So, unfortunately, even those people that have received Great Western, if you have, I would still suggest you're going to get an invite. Everyone's going to get an invite this next week to get appointed.
Coverage.
Especially if you have an agency below you, or you're a RSC or DSC and you have a downline and you're trying to help everyone, please go in and get that, because anyone new that comes on is not going to get, we're not even going to put them to Great Western, because it's just not going to be open. It's just going to be sitting there. So just be on the lookout for that. And we want to make sure all the hierarchies and everything's in place for that, and everyone gets paid the right amount. So I'd like to just give you a warning to see that next week. The only downside, or I say it's the downside, is you have to have E&O insurance. Okay. So, that's something that's probably good to have anyway, but this carrier does require that. So, that's one thing you can do. We buy it traditionally through Napa. It seems to be reputable and fairly good. The Aflac one you can buy, we think it does mostly just Aflac product. Bo, do you remember that? We were talking about that.
Sorry, say it again.
On the
Aflac E&O.
E&O that you buy through through Aflac.
Oh, yeah. So the E&O is discounted because it's only covering your Aflac products at the full coverage. It will still cover other carrier products, but it's at a massive detriment, or it's not very good coverage.
It's reduced coverage for other outstanding products. It definitely still covers life product, but the thresholds that it will go up to, the limits that it goes up to, are not as high.
Yeah.
So if you have the Aflac only one, just be aware. It does the Aflac only, or it's not Aflac only. I got to quit calling it that. The discounted Aflac plan for E&O It still will cover, and it does count for you to be able to go get your AIG contract. So you can use it to go get in, and if you want to go raise your limits because you're worried about what those thresholds look like, you certainly can do that. But just be aware that the limits are reduced on non-Aflac products.
Yeah, that's great. And then we have some incentives still for Q2 that we haven't announced for a little bit.
Yeah.
Paul, you want to speak to that?
Yes, sir. Sorry, I was dealing with someone having a hard time getting in. So Aflac, of course, has their incentives, and here it is for Q2. So place 3 policies in Q2. You can see the dates, anything from April 1st through June 30th. You place 3 policies, get $200 bonus. 6 policies get you $500, and 10 policies get you $1,000. So an extra little incentive there. We've not seen yet if there's any other incentives from any of the other carriers yet, but as soon as we do, we will get those out to you. So, doesn't hurt to pad the wallet with some extra incentives there. So that's what Aflac
good.
has
That's
going
good
on.
spending money for the cruise to Alaska.
Yeah, bear spray. You
Yeah,
can buy some
yeah,
bear
it's
spray,
spray.
With those dollars.
That's right. Hey, and look at that. You get a distinguished sales award as well. I'm not exactly sure what that looks like, but you'll be distinguished.
Shoot, I had one before. It was the initial one was this giant gold chain with Aflac, like blingy, like Jesse, yeah, like your Papa Giorgio, Jesse, except it was like 4 times the size of the chain and an Aflac all blingy. That's what the initial one was. I don't know what it is right now, but a year ago, that's what we had sent out.
Man. It'll look great with your Escalade.
It will. I'm gonna see if I can get a grill done. That's a good look for a 50-year-old white guy.
That's Q2. That's Q2's incentive. All right. So again, Alaska, we've already talked about that. Here's what we want to talk about today, everybody, is it's been really fun to see people moving into production. I know there's been a large amount of our folks that have contracted, and this, for most of you, this has not been meant to be your full-time thing, right? Like what we wanted to do is add to what you're doing and facilitate very easy sales for most people. And I know that there's been some distractions with everything else, which I totally understand. So over the last couple of weeks, Bo and I have spent a lot of time getting in the field with a few folks, learning what's going on and helping facilitate that. So we've learned quite a bit, and it has been fun seeing how we can make a few very simple tweaks to get into production. So that's what we want to talk about today. So I know not everybody has a worksite book of business. We are going to share some. If you do, we're going to share some of these best practices on what's going on. So one of the first things that we saw as a roadblock is this, just right here, is comfort with systems. Their new systems. Every carrier has their own agent portal, their own enrollment system, all of those things, right? And so it does take a little bit of time to get comfortable with those. What does that look like? What are the questions? This one does this carrier does it this way, this carrier does it this way. So it does take a little bit of time to get familiar with it. So really, you can see in blue there, a best practice that we have certainly seen is, it's one thing to see us go through it. It's another thing to personally go through it yourself. So where we've seen a lot of movement is just that on screen, is take an app on yourself with each carrier that you're appointed with. Not saying go through, sell yourself the app and have a policy with every carrier, but at least go through the application all the way until, don't finish it out, but get familiar with the process. What you will see is, as you're going through, though they're different, they are very similar, and it's not going to take you long to go through those. So if you've not done that yet, make sure you take a little bit of time, carve out 30 minutes out of your day and say, what, I'm going to learn this process. I'm going to go fill out an application. I'm going to figure out how to do a quote. I know we've had some issues with the term life quoting on Transamerica because they did an update, a major update, what I believe was on April 26th. Yep. So things have changed a little bit in there, but really where you find it, but it's it just takes a little bit of monkeying around if you do need help with things. So this is another area that we've really seen some positive movement, is just reach out to us. We're definitely available to spend some one-on-one time with you. In fact, I believe we spent time with Bo. You told me last night, five or seven folks this week we spent one-on-one time with, going through everything, soup to nuts.
Oh yeah, dude, that was just yesterday.
Yeah. So we're more than willing to do that, right? Because our goal is to remove roadblocks, help you be in a sales position so that you can drive some revenue for yourself and you can make an impact with other people. So if you do have hangups, if you do have questions, do not hesitate whatsoever to kick us a message and say, hey, I need some one-on-one time. Can you walk me through this? What's a good time to do that? We are definitely going to do that with you. Another thing that we have seen is this right here. Is I know a lot of you have globbed onto that saying, hey, you know what, I can definitely pivot this into worksite. But here's some of the feedback that I've received with that is people that have tried it and they say, well, hey, I'm selling all of my worksite benefit. And so by the time I'm getting through all of that, I mean, they're spent, right? Like they've gone through, that's my primary. And so I don't feel comfortable bringing this up. Like, hey, I know you just spent all of this money here, but I also have this product to sell. Dave, can you speak to that
Yeah,
really quickly? Just
absolutely.
the psyche of life insurance.
Yeah, I'll absolutely address that. So guys, you guys know I had the direct consumer call center for Aflac. And you guys all know how amazing Aflac Life is on a direct basis. Oh wait, there's not an option. And these clients would call in, and you guys, just to give you an idea of the volume that was coming in, about 1,000 phone calls a day. That's the volume roughly coming in every single day. About a quarter of them we ended up selling life to, but we didn't have an Aflac Life option. So we actually contracted our call center to sell a True Stage Life product. The fear from senior management all the way up was that, oh, if they're buying a life product, they're not going to buy accident, cancer, critical illness, dental, vision, hearing, our core stuff, our business, the stuff that we really build on. And it's absolutely not the case. That's why Aflac actually agreed to do it. It's because people buy life insurance with, like I asked Paul to put it, with a different wallet. That's the term that we kept using. It's kind of like this. We all compartmentalize our income in some way, shape, or form. It's not just a big glob in people's minds. And it's kind of like when you go on vacation. I say that just because I'm looking at Cody with his space exploration behind him. When you're on vacation, you're spending vacation money, and you spend differently on vacation than you do at home. You're using a different wallet per se, right? You just think differently, right? You're at Disneyland and buying a $27 cheeseburger all of a sudden becomes a viable option. And I'm not saying it's overpriced, but it's, you think about it differently. People buy car insurance with different money than health insurance, and life insurance falls into that different wallet mentality. And we watch that happen over and over again to the tune of millions of dollars in our call center. Is they have a different budget, if you will, for life insurance, because life insurance goes with financial planning and future, as opposed to health insurance and our Aflac core products, which is a now product, right? A living benefit. They live in different wallets. I don't want you guys to be afraid of bringing up life. If they're already spent and they've already blown their entire budget for insurance, and then they bought Aflac, fantastic, great job. But you'll be shocked when you start asking about life. Their brain will switch to a different place. They're spending with a different wallet. So it's proven over and over again, enough so that Aflac modeled it, tested it, and they're selling a life product in our call center right now today that is not an Aflac product. So just an FYI, it's because they're spending with a different wallet. It's not impacting sales. So anyway.
Yeah, no, that's great. So
hey, Marcy, you can always take a final expense call when you're talking to us. Feel free. I just saw a chat pop up.
Okay.
If any of you need to drop off to go do an application, we've got a recording of this. We'll send it to you.
It's recording. We're gonna send it out. Yeah, I love that thought, Dave. I know you've mentioned this on other trainings in the past, Dave, but when you were running the call center and you saw, the producers or the non-producers, you started investigating what was the difference between them.
Yeah.
What was the difference between them again?
Yeah, it was almost like our call center was split in half. We had live salespeople and we had non-live salespeople. But the difference is that they were all getting the exact same calls and they all had the same access to the same product. And we couldn't figure out why did one half of our group never sell live. This was 3 months into offering this product, the final expense product. Like, why the heck is this 12 people over here have sold nothing 3 months in, and this over here are selling a live product every single day? What the heck's going on? And so we listened, myself and Stephanie, our call center manager, we were listening to calls. We're like, all right, let's find the differentiator. We literally started polling. We did 100 calls of the non-sales group and 100 calls of the people who are selling life every day. One difference. There was one difference. The group that sold quoted life. They asked about life. That was it. That was the total difference. It was like magic. When they asked about life, those are the group that sold life. When they never asked about life, like magic, they never sold life. So asking is the differentiator of selling a life product versus not selling a life product.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dave. So if you're feeling that way, just remember this. I mean, you all know the quote, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So if you're not quoting, you're definitely not going to make a sale. But don't hold that back, because you never know what they want. You don't know what's going through their minds. You don't know what's going through their lives. So definitely quote. Question, Jesse, I can't see you, but question. Last night was Thursday night. Did you and Dave go to the movies?
We didn't. We normally did. Well, Dave did. He went with his sons, I think, but it was to a movie I'd already seen.
Yeah, I'd already
Dave,
seen it,
what
and I
movie
was
did
on
you guys go to?
Instagram the whole time. So I was that annoying guy with his phone on in the theater
That
last
was
night.
the
So
final lacrosse game for my son.
That's super annoying that
I
you're
saw
that guy.
I saw
Dave,
Civil War for the second time, Paul. Civil War.
so Dave, if you were disappointed in me with watching Below Deck, I'm disappointed with you that you're that freaking guy in the movie theater. So on that note, now we're both on equal playing field again. Along those lines, so did you spend any money on your concessions last night, Dave? Just out of curiosity.
I spent $30 on concessions last night, Paul.
30 bucks.
$30.
So
yep.
And your boys hadn't seen the movie yet, though.
Nope.
So that's what sent you to the movie theater last night, even though you had seen it. So the whole reason why I bring this up, right, is movie theaters don't make an awful lot of money off ticket sales. In fact, typically it's only that first weekend is what I remember. Where they make the bulk of their funds from, their revenue from, is from all of the concessions, right? They play the movies because that's what gets people into the theater to buy the popcorn, buy the candy, buy all of those things, right? If they just had a stand out there selling movie theater popcorn and candy, they would sell some of it, but certainly not at that volume, right? So they have to have that movie to attract people. So the other thing that I think we really need to take advantage of is marketing the products that you have pre-enrollment. Yeah.
Paul, by the way, to your point, 80% of their revenue of theaters is concessions.
Yeah. Right. And so keep this in mind. Don't have this be an afterthought either. I mean, that's better than nothing. But if you're heading into a worksite enrollment, I would market this. However it is that you're marketing yourself going into your enrollments, market that you have a new product, you have a new whole life, simplified whole life product that you can bring to the table, right? Because there's one thing when you're going in worksite, you're selling folks, but there's a whole segment of that employer group that you're not even getting to, right? And with this, again, being the second most sought after benefit in the marketplace, if you leverage this in your pre-enrollment marketing, you're going to gain access to folks that you wouldn't have otherwise. So I just want you to keep that in mind. This can be the movie that brings people to the concession stand for you. So those are a couple of things there. And any questions or comments before I move on to the next piece? I can't see the chat, so I don't know if there's anything going on. All right, last thing is this. This is a really cool tool. I know Jesse and Bo have shared this before, but they're constantly making updates. They made a tremendous update that is really going to speed this up, your time to quoting. Bo, I'm going to turn the time to you, my friend, to share your nerd magic on this, if you would, fine sir.
Nerd magic time. We need a song.
I think we just got it.
I think you just wrote it.
Goodness. Okay, so if you haven't been to this tool yet, this is pretty slick. So this is our integrity quoting tool. This is where you guys can go in and quote all the products at once. So you just put in the customer data. We had a really cool call yesterday with somebody, and they said, "Hey, is there a way we can have our leads in WooSender upload into this automatically?" And so we're working on that. It's coming, but we're not there quite yet. But here's the cool thing: when you guys are in your Affleck enrollments, the biggest thing that we hear is, hey, I'm at the end of this experience with a client, and I'm doing my usual spiel. Oh, and by the way, here's your quote. Just wanted you to see that because I quote everybody on life insurance. That's what they're doing, and that's where the people that are really kicking butt right now. That's primarily where their source of leads are coming from, is their Affleck enrollments. Like's been mentioned before, we have one gentleman, he did 10 in one enrollment. 10. Like, yeah, that's somebody's going to Alaska. But
Yeah.
yeah. But the thing is it takes a little bit of time, right? And what we want to do is make this as simple as possible for you guys. And so one of the things that we've learned is you guys can prepare ahead of time for your enrollments by exporting your census in Everwell and importing it into the integrity portal. So then all you got to do is click on the client's name, boom, data is there and ready to go. So you're not having to fill out their profile and add them in and spend an extra 5 minutes while you're chatting with them. So let me show you real quick what that looks like. So when you guys are on your dashboard, you're going to click the new button on the left. And on the top right, so I got my contacts in there. On the top right, you'll see your add new and import. So this is what's cool. You guys can click import here, and it gives you, just like any other thing like Everwell, right? You can download the template if you want. It shows you the data that it's hoping to get. But here's what's cool about this. You don't need a census template. You don't need to worry about the data that it needs, because Everwell's just going to export almost all of that for you anyway. And I just happen to have a test census here that is just some random census that I created. And so I'm going to drop it in, and it's telling me, hey, you dropped in this census file. And now it just wants me to choose the columns. So it's going to guess on some of them. And so how this works is you have your columns on the top from your thing, and it's saying that my social and my date of birth, it's not quite sure what to do with that. So I'm going to grab my date of birth, and I'm going to drag it to the birthday down here on the bottom. And now it knows that is birthday. And now I'm going to keep doing that. So in fact, let me shrink this page so you can see a little bit more. But if I've got the tobacco use in there, I've got address in there. So let's see here. I got address in here. Let's scroll over. So we got address right there. So I'm going to grab that one. I'm going to drag it down. Boom. So now I got the address in there. And then you just do this until you've ran out of options. And it looks like I'm out of options unless I have my tobacco up here. Let's see if I have that. I'm going to scroll. Oh, I scrolled all the way to the end. So let's try. It looks like I don't have tobacco in this census. Okay, that's fine. So I'm just going to click import. Okay. And there's an internal error, of course, when I'm trying to show you guys.
There was a tobacco.
Was there? I missed it.
Yeah, there was a no in it.
Yeah. So when your import is done, it's going to show up in here with all of your clients. And then it's just a matter of either searching or just clicking on their name. And then you're right into their profile. You can start quote, and then fill in any missing information is going to be filled in right here. As soon as you hit start quote, it's going to ask, okay, what's their height? What's their weight? What's their tobacco use? Now, what we've learned is you do not have to put in height and weight, but if you don't, it will not quote Transamerica. It will only quote Aflac. But if you're in the Aflac enrollment and that's all you're doing anyway, that's just fine. So then you don't need to ask for that data. And then you're ready to go from there. So you click next, and it's going to ask for the conditions if they have any. If they're hacking in front of you, or they look like someone that might have a condition, ask them, right? If they're super healthy, I don't know, up to you. Maybe you can wait till the underwriting questions, but then you'll be able to view quote. And up here on the top left, just for review again, you're going to have the amount. So let's just say 25. And then it's going to give me all the carriers down here. So I got my preferred coverage for Transamerica, preferred for Aflac, my Great Western, soon to be AIG. Scrolling down, then standard rate, Transamerica, Aflac, and this is a monthly premium. And there you go. And then here's what's cool. If you guys missed this last week, they have now made this so if the client goes, well, hey, yeah, I want to do this. This is all you got to do. See that little apply button? You just click that and it takes you straight to the portal. So you don't need to jump all around anymore. Straight there.
into their enrollment portal. So to make this happen, though, you do have to make sure you've registered in all of your carrier agent portals. And when you set up your profile, you have to put in you select your carrier and you put in your producer number, and then you're ready to go. So Bo's been talking about Everwell, right? So I don't know if you're an Aflac, you're very familiar with Everwell. If you're doing any work site, you can all of your platforms are going to carry this data, right? So whether you're using Navigator, Ease, you're using any platform, you're going to have this data. And Bo, I don't know the answer to this question, but I figured I would ask anyway. So if I'm not worksite, so I'm buying leads, I know I can ask you to send me the PDFs. Can you send the leads that I buy? Can you send them over to me in Excel form?
Yes.
So if I could get my leads in Excel form, I can do the exact same thing here, right? I can upload my leads into this platform, have everyone there. So I'm ready to go with my quote right there, ready to rock. So the ease
and again, you guys are only
nice.
going to need to do that for a short while because we're going to work on getting this integrated with WooSender. So those will automatically carry over as well. So
Love it.
Yeah. Super. Any questions?
So Paul, the process,
Yeah.
I don't know Everwell, even though somewhere it says I'm certified in it. If I'm going in before my open enrollment, I would go and grab my Everwell census, however that occurs by some other nerd magic. I would upload it in here, map each category, and I can walk into my enrollment with a basic quote for every single person.
Absolutely. Yep. So if you think about any source in which you can have all of your contacts in an Excel file, you can import into this thing. So we've talked about a best practice before of people calling off of their persistency scoreboard. You can export that in Excel. You could upload all of those people into this platform. So anything that you can mass upload into an Excel spreadsheet, you can get into this thing, which is going to be super handy for you. So anyway, it was a great feature that we learned this week. Bo and I went around, we shared that. Bo shared it way more than I did. But again, we had 4 or 5, at least 4 folks put it into practice this week and make their first FE sale just because they were quoting out of it. So it's a very great tool. We wanted to share it. Want to throw it out there. Any questions, comments anyone has? Easy peasy.
Crickets, bro.
Yeah, good. Bo, it's because you're the unicorn that we talked about.
We just blew everybody's mind. That's it.
Cool. Well, hey, on that note, this may be one of the
Phillips has a
Brian
question,
Phillips.
Paul.
Yeah, Phillips, go for it, man.
So all those quotes that you're showing us there, when you imported it from Everwell and you have all those quotes, they're all just final expense quotes. None of them are any other kind of life insurance. It's just final expense.
Correct.
Life Center right now is quoting FE only. They're expecting on the next update, they'll be able to grab the other life products. I don't know which one's going next, Brian. We've asked that question. When you look at Integrity as a whole, the health side of their health business, which is the senior product, Medicare, MedSup, and Advantage, is bigger than their life side of things. So they get stuff first. Life gets it second. So Life Center just launched. They had the health side got it 6 months ahead. We'll see the other life products drop here anytime. We're just waiting for the next update. And we will say, as Bo and Paul and Jesse, less me, go in and play with Life Center, updates are happening all the time, Brian. So as soon as we see that there are other quotes available in Life Center, we'll absolutely make sure that that's available to you. Yeah, to quote the other products, though, you would actually have to go and generate a quote on that specific person. So,
two things, Dave. I'll give you time to prep for this. Can you show how to quote, say, a term life in the new trans portal, And and Bo, I've got a question for you too.
Sure.
If I've not gone into Life Center yet, I posted the link in there. How do I register, Bo?
Yeah, so when you first get there, you'll have a option that says register below, and then that's easy enough. It's just like registering for any other thing. It's going to send you a thing in your email with a temporary password. Let me show you guys real quick, because there is one additional step you have to do, and if you don't do this step, the service still works, but it's going to quote every single carrier that Integrity has. So what you got to do is you got to click on your name, go to account, and then if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see this self-attested permissions. And what I did is I just added the carrier. It's super easy. You just click add new, select Aflac, put in your producer number, done. And so there are, I wasn't sure which one to use for Transamerica. And if you don't remember, just add them both. It doesn't matter. But it is Transamerica Premier Life, not Financial Life. If you do a Financial Life, it won't quote, and you'll be like, well, where's my Transamerica? And then, oh yeah, Bo said something about that. Just go out the other one. It doesn't make you a big
Final
deal.
expense isn't tied to the Financial Life, it's tied to the other. So
Yeah,
just make sure
easy. It's pretty easy. You just go down and just add the carriers you want, and it'll narrow that down to just what you're selling. Yeah.
So when you register, so again, the link is, gosh, what is it? I put it in there, but the easy browse, clients.integrity.com, and then you hit login. It's going to ask you for your NPN. Your NPN, by the way, is attached to us, and we're attached to Integrity. So that's how it's going to know that you're already part of this group to give you access to this. So it's pretty easy. And again, if you have hangups, you want a personal walkthrough this kind of stuff, we're more than happy to schedule time to go through this with you. So it doesn't take too long. You'll monkey around with it, and it's pretty great. I mentioned this earlier on in the call, but Transamerica did a quoting update. It went live on the 26th. I know Dave's monkeyed with it quite a bit and has it figured out. So Dave, you could share that.
Ish. I got it figured out ish. No, I got, so guys, when you log into Transamerica, if you haven't logged into Transamerica, your login page, actually here, I'll go start it from the beginning here. Login page will look like this. Once you've got that set up, I know like Megan, we went through this yesterday, or the day before with you. When you get into your page, you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff. This is where the application is. This is where you'll see your pending business, that kind of stuff. But what you're going to want to do is this Transamerica Life Illustrator. Those of you who are using PCs, you can actually download it and have it living on your There's a program you can have it just running. Mac users, sorry, you have to do it via the web. I'm a Mac, so you guys are going to see it via the web.
How did a San Francisco-based company exclude Apple? I'm just curious. Big fail. Anyway,
long ugly history, probably, Paul. I don't know. It was a real estate battle in 1974 that really brought them to this point. No, I have no clue. So I'm going to add a plan. I'm going to add a plan. You guys can see all of the options that you have, right? So your contract with us gives you all the options to this. So if you want to sell an IUL, they're there. If you know how to sell an IUL, please teach me. I don't know how to sell an IUL. I've never done it. I would love to learn. So please, if you're an experienced IUL salesperson, please teach me. Your two-term products are the Trendsetter LB. That's a living benefit product. If you've just sold Aflac, this isn't the one you want, because this has got critical illness and some of those other living benefits involved. So most of the time you're going to be in the super if you're looking for term life. And then you've got your final expense product. Most of the time we're going to be selling this immediate solution. And then there's the whole life product. So in this case, I'm going to go pick that term life product just for example, and create a new plan. And now I'm just going to pick what it looks like. So since Phillips asked the question that started us down this path, I'm going to pick Oregon. How old should we make the client, Phillips? 20s?
How about 40?
30s? 40. Perfect. We're going to quote him of 40. 40 years old. Is he a smoker or she a smoker? Is it a
Nope.
he? Non-smoker? Preferred non-smoker?
Yep.
Right. Non-smoker he. We can go look at the policy design. How much do we want? Face amount. Phillips,
Just 100,000.
just 100K. And we want to see this in a monthly mode, right? So there are additional riders. We won't dive into riders today. And income protection. There you go. This is what it looks like. So now I have to, because of our agency, I have to go check this box. You won't have to do that. We can calculate it. And I can go do a quick view, and here you go. So Phillips, I've got my 40-year-old preferred non-smoker, $100,000 face amount. He's $10.54 a month
For a 10-year term. Yeah.
for a
You can
10-year
see all the
term.
way down.
If he wants a 30-year term, he's $22.44 a month.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
yep,
because I'm with
that's it.
Ethos Life right now, and they have the same products as you do. So yeah, this is great. I mean, I can get more through you guys than I'm getting through Ethos right now. So
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. So
Awesome.
that's what it looks like. And it is, you guys, that's what I tell you guys about quoting everybody. If I know I'm going to go sit down with a bunch of 20 somethings or 30 somethings, final expense is not an option. No 20-year-olds, they don't even know what that means. So I would say that I would be prepping. If I know what my demographic is going to be looking like, I'm going to have this up ready to rock and roll. Especially if you're using a PC, I'd have this downloaded, because you can do it pretty dang quickly for somebody. But I'll tell you what, it is exciting for somebody who's that young, going, hey man, you can get you $100,000, $100,000 in life insurance for less than $11 a month. 50 grand is a big number. Chops that number in half. So we're talking less than, $5-6 a month. Somebody can go grab a policy. So, and it's pretty easy to go change it around too. Right. So we come back into the policy design. And if I wanted just $25,000, for example, I could make a quick change. Oh, I'm sorry. Again, you guys don't have to do this. I just do because of our agency side. And oh, why didn't it like? Oh, it doesn't like it. Oh, we have to go
Yeah,
lowest
you
on
got
that
a
term,
minimum of
which is
100,000.
Yeah, there we go. But anyway, you guys get the idea. It's pretty straightforward how to do it. The numbers, if you're talking a younger person, a term life policy is the biggest bang for their buck. Really depending on what they're after, even a whole life policy for a young person is pretty dang cheap, too. And then it's growing cash value as well. So anyway, that's the quoting experience on TA.
Awesome. Thank you. I know there are a lot of people with that challenge since they've done that update. So there it is. With that update, here's the great thing. They added Oregon in there, because Oregon, the plan has always been available, but their quoting tool didn't have Oregon in there. And their solution was, we'll just quote them on Washington. They're the same. So now it's there. So